I do not own Star Trek, or any of the related characters. Star Trek is a mark owned by Paramount. This story is a work of fanfiction and is for entertainment only. I am not making profit from this story. This is a tribute. All rights of Star Trek belong to Paramount. This fanfiction takes place between the second and third movies of the Kelvinverse.
Star Trek Reloaded, Chapter 6 Tear, An Unexpected Message.
I must confess, Ambassador, this ship of yours is truly astonishing.
The elderly Vulcan abandoned the small monitor of his station for a moment and looked towards the chief engineer.
Mr. Scott, technically this is not my ship at all, in any sense. Although I think I understand what you intend to communicate to me, even if in an approximate and slang way.
Well, you give him a compliment and he offends you.
Dr. McCoy chuckled sarcastically, only to turn his attention to the young Spock, sitting at the science officer's console.
Spock, I see with pleasure that not even getting old will be useful to you to smooth out the typical arrogance of you Vulcans. You may be of an earthly mother, but I assure you that it is not noticeable at all.
Thank you.
The Spocks replied in unison to the ship's doctor. McCoy was getting fired up, but the word went back to the engineer.
Whatever it is, I'm impressed. Duotronic chips, although obsolete today, are the state-of-the-art of this technology, and the performance of this vessel actually has little to envy of the current generation of spaceships. The engines are a masterpiece of simplicity and efficiency. The design is devoted to absolute ergonomics. Even if nothing surprised me like finding it ready to go despite decades of abandonment in that warehouse.
Speaking of abandonment is completely inappropriate, Scotty,
said Kirk, almost collapsed in the enormous command chair, in the center of the bridge.
Judging from the logbook, this ship was regularly checked and refueled every year, always. A curious thing, to be honest, a completely singular treatment not shared by any other ship in that depot.
Scott seemed to reflect on the news.
How if someone had prepared her for us?
The captain was about to reply, when Uhura interrupted the conversation.
Captain, sublight communications from Fleet Command.
Kirk waved the index finger of his right hand in the air, as if searching for who knows what invisible point.
I imagine that by now they have alerted the entire fleet. We have become the pariahs of the skies. What is the order? Shoot on sight?
Captain,
Uhura seemed to hesitate for a moment.
Along with the statement, there is a message for you, encrypted. You can open it with her secret personal code.
Those present on the bridge exchanged silent looks of perplexity.
I imagine they want to make you give up on your intentions,
said the elderly ambassador.
Despite being totally unaware of it, or rather, especially for this reason.
Give it to me on the big monitor, Uhura. It should be said that we are all in the same boat, and I really don't think we should start having secrets between us.
The captain typed a long alphanumeric code on the keyboard of his chair and a familiar face immediately appeared on the screen, a face even familiar to the two Vulcans on board.
Long and prosperous life, Captain Kirk.
These words were associated with the hard and austere face of Ambassador Sarek. Kirk started to answer, only to immediately remember that he was watching a recorded message. Mute, he went back to listening to the Vulcan.
At this moment you and your crew, among which I understand to be my son Spock, are carrying out an unauthorized mission with unknown purposes. Obviously, I advise you to desist immediately and hand yourself over to the Federation outpost to you closer.
Sarek. Why Sarek? Maybe they want to leverage Spock's logic?
I don't think so, Doctor.
The young Vulcan's tone was peremptory.
The message is addressed to the captain, and my father wouldn't need human psychological games if he wanted to make me understand something. He would address me directly.
The captain raised his right hand, as if to stop any further speculation among those present on the bridge.
Silence, please, let me hear.
But in case
Sarek's face seemed to take on an even more serious look.
you still intend to continue what you are doing, whatever it is, know that it will be almost impossible for the entire fleet to intercept you for at least 12 hours, starting from the receipt of this message of mine. Make good use of it. My men in the most important command posts will not be able to provide you with further cover without arousing suspicion.
Fascinating.
Ambassador Spock watched the video without betraying any emotion other than curiosity.
I would never have thought that my father could elaborate thoughts and decisions so apparently distant from any logic.
If, as I believe, it is your intention to go to New Volcano to recover something, do it as quickly as possible. You will not find anyone to stop you.
Kirk was astonished at Sarek's words.
He knows about the time ship, and what else?
The scientific officer's thoughts ran quickly.
I really think we'll have to listen to him.
One last thing happens.
In the eyes of Spock's father, a particular light appeared for a second, very little in line with logical thought.
If you can, once your mission is over, bring my son home. I've already lost Amanda. I don't want to lose him too.
The screen went dark.
The message has self-destructed,
said Uhura. Everyone remained silent for a long time, and a single thought arose in Kirk's mind.
I'm afraid this is more than I can promise you, Ambassador Sarek.